Hey guys, I'm Aparna and I'm going to tell you a story. When it comes to storytelling, I just love it as much as I like listening to them. Sometimes when you listen to a story, it just stays with you. This is one such story. It is a real story and it's about a woman called Bhavri Devi. Now let's go way back to 1980s, 1990s to a small village called Batteri in Rajasthan, because that is where Bhavri Devi lives with her husband and children. Now they belong to a low caste potter community called Kumha, whereas most people of a village belong to a Gujar caste, which is a milkman community, and it is considered to be the higher caste. Bhavri Devi works as an Indian social worker. She works for the state government's women's development program. She is a grassroots worker. She works as a Satin, which means friend. So her job involves going door to door in her village, campaigning against social issues like hygiene, family planning, female infanticide, dowry, child marriages, etc. Now talking about child marriages, we have to understand that Rajasthan has a huge tradition of child marriages and it has the highest incidence of child marriages in the country. Bhavri Devi herself was a child bride, and she was married off when she was about 5 or 6 and her husband was about 8 or 9. Thousands of children like that, many just months old, are married off during the festival of Akka Teej. Now Akka Teej or Akshaya Tritiya is a festival which is believed to bring unending prosperity. And because it is an auspicious date for marriages, many child marriages take place during this festival. Now Akka Teej being just around the corner and knowing that the people of the village are eagerly waiting for Akka Teej, the state government of Rajasthan decides to launch a campaign against child marriages. Now here the task of Bhavri Devi and other few members of WDP is to convince the local villages not to conduct child marriages. But this campaign was largely ignored by the villages and disapproved by the village head and other local leaders. In the midst of this, a Gujar family has planned to marry off their 9 months old daughter. Bhavri Devi makes attempts to convince these people not to conduct this marriage, although she knew doing this would definitely invite backlash. But that's her job. So Bhavri Devi, along with the help of the cops, successfully prevented the marriage from taking place on the Akka Teej. But the very next day, the marriage took place at 2 a.m. but no police action was taken against this. Now this attempt had obviously infuriated the villages. Bhavri Devi very well knew that the Gujars will come after her. Like she feared, an horrific incident took place on 22nd September 1992. At dusk, like any other day, Bhavri Devi and her husband are working in their fields. 5 men arrived there. Now this includes the man whose daughter's marriage she attempted to stop. All these men are from the affluent and dominant Gujar caste from her village. These men started attacking her husband with sticks. Bhavri Devi ran to help her husband. She pleaded with them to show some mercy. But without a bit of pity or guilt, 2 attackers pinned her husband down and the remaining 3 took turns to rape her in front of her husband. Now Bhavri Devi knew these Gujars are going to come after her. She probably even knew that they're going to attack her, but not in the wildest of her dreams she would have thought that this is going to happen to her. But Bhavri Devi, with all her courage, reported the incident and the FIR was lodged with the usual police skepticism and indifference. It was very shocking for me to learn that all across South Asia, the police are reluctant to record rape cases and they show callousness and indifference towards women who come with complaints of rape. This indifference continued in the primary health center as well, where the male doctor refused to medically examine Bhavri Devi, saying that the female doctors were not present. They just refused to conduct any medical test without the order from the magistrate. Because of this, the medical test was conducted 52 hours later, while our Indian law requires this to be done within 24 hours. Her bruises and scratches were not recorded, and her complaints of physical discomfort were just ignored. I'm sure you all will agree with me that even today in our conservative society, victims of rape or women who have undergone sexual harassment or any sexual abuse for that matter often hesitate to come forward and file a complaint, or even talk about their ordeal, fearing the shame and stigma associated with it, because it conveniently blames her. So you can imagine the situation back then. It was like 27-28 years ago. Bhavri Devi's complaint was not taken seriously, and there were hardly any investigation done. But her brutal incident was out on a major local newspaper, following which many other state and national dailies reported the incident. Now that the incident had gone public, as usual, Bhavri Devi was accused of lying, and her attackers denied rape and said there was only a quarrel. To add on to this, the villagers had boycotted her and her family. They just refused to sell milk or buy their clay pot. Even her relatives had boycotted her, and she was not even invited for family weddings. But many women's activist groups stood up for Bhavri Devi, and number of massive protests were held in Jaipur demanding justice for her. And with days and months of perseverance, the 5 accused were finally arrested more than a year after the crime. In December 1993, the 5 accused were denied bail, and the Rajasthan High Court judge wrote in his order that he is convinced Bhavri Devi was gang raped in revenge for attempting to stop one of the accused's 9 months old daughter's marriage. Now let's not forget that these men are from the dominant and affluent Gujar caste from her village, so they have enough influences. So little did Bhavri Devi knew that things are going to go downhill for her from there on. Over the course of the trial, the judges were changed 5 times, and the accused were acquitted of rape in November 1995. Instead, they were found guilty of lesser offences like assault and conspiracy, and they were given just 9 months jail. Please take a look at the bizarre reasons a judge gave while clearing the accused of rape. The village head cannot rape. Men of different castes cannot participate in gang rape. Elder men of 60-70 years cannot rape. A man cannot rape in front of a relative. A member of the higher caste cannot rape a lower caste woman because of reasons of purity. Bhavri Devi's husband couldn't have quietly watched his wife being gang raped. This judgment caused immense outrage in India and globally. Massive protests were held with thousands marching through the city streets of Jaipur. Many women's activist groups voiced out demanding justice for her. Because of this pressure, the state government decides to appeal against her judgment. But only one hearing has been held in 24 years. In the interim, 4 out of 5 accused have already died. Sadly, Bhavri Devi is still waiting for justice. Now let's get to the interesting part of the story. Let me give you a gist of Vishaka. Vishaka is an NGO, a women's activist group, which has helped Bhavri Devi all through these years, and they are still helping her. We cannot deny the fact that Bhavri Devi was attacked for doing her job, but her employer, the state authorities, did not stand up for her. They did not come forward to help her, saying that it is not their responsibility because she was attacked in her fields. Absolutely no protection was given to her. Now this was very concerning. So Vishaka and other women's activist groups filed a public interest litigation in Supreme Court demanding to lay down norms to safeguard women against sexual harassment at workplace. And it is the responsibility of the employer to protect their women employees at every step. This petition resulted in Vishaka Guidelines. Now Vishaka Guidelines provides basic definitions of sexual harassment at workplace, and it provides guidelines to deal with it. Now this was a revolutionary judgment based on the fundamental rights of the women, and these guidelines later became basis for Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act in 2013, or POSH that we call. Now if you actually see, who even imagined that Bhavri Devi from a small village with no great education or any great background or anything of that sort would be the catalyst for Vishaka Guidelines and POSH that we have today to protect women against sexual harassment at workplace. Please note that Bhavri Devi still lives in the same village along with the people who had boycotted her. And it is said that she still works as a sadhan. And not to mention, it's almost 3 decades now and she's still fighting strong for her justice. Bhavri Devi has not given up. I'm sure she will never give up. She's such a fighter, and that is why she's the unlikely hero. Over the years, she's won several awards for her exceptional courage. I recommend you to watch her speak in We the Women, Barkada's show. There is so much courage in her innocence too. Bhavri Devi is such an inspiration to all of us who easily give up fighting because we fear to face the consequences that might come along the way. But women like Bhavri Devi time and again prove us, remind us that being a woman is not a curse but a privilege. If this video was worth watching, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel so I can make more videos like this.